Donald Trump holding at 214. Joining us now is one of the most anti-Trump Republicans, if not the most anti-Trump Republican, Steve Schmidt, co-founder of the Lincoln Project and an MSNBC contributor. Steve Schmidt, I've been thinking of you. I can imagine how you feel, but I want to start with what we just heard from Washington Square Park, because there was Ron Allen with these young Americans in Washington Square Park. And I love that Ron and everything that they talked about, and especially the historic nature of Kamala Harris's win. But I love that he asked them about Donald Trump's threatened lawsuits. And they are all smarter than everyone in Donald Trump's circle, way smarter than Rudy Giuliani. They all dismissed them with the wisdom of the NYU law professors who teach right around that area there. That Washington Square Park is in the heart of NYU. It's a piece of the college campus, in effect. But it was very heartening to me to hear those smart young people knowing just how hopeless and toothless the Trump statements are now about trying to legally fight this result.
Yeah, of course it is. Listen, on the smart meter, it's not a very high bar to jump over. But look, they are toothless. It's baseless. They're going nowhere. When you look out at all these people, the crowds all over the country, Lawrence, democracy is fueled by faith and belief in the legitimacy of the system. And Donald Trump has done everything he could possibly do to pollute faith and belief in the American system. But it's like water breaking through the dam here. The American people have fired the most corrupt, the most indecent, the most incompetent president in American history, the most lethal president in American history. He has been removed from power. The great miracle of this country is the uninterrupted, peaceful transition of power that has gone on since 1797. And you think about the first president to be defeated in office, John Adams, in a very close election that went to the House of Representatives. He left the White House. Donald Trump will leave the White House. Joe Biden will swear the 35-word oath at noon on January 20th. And American democracy will be renewed. The hinge of history will swing open, and a new chapter of the American story will begin. The possibilities for our future are great. Our dreams are as big as our country. And we're going to have a good man, a decent man, a man who has met his moment, who has fulfilled his destiny. Someone we've known for a long time, but we see differently today. We see the American leader that we need in a time of catastrophe and crisis for the country. There are hard days ahead. This will be a terribly deadly winter with COVID. We will see 2 months of chaos and institutional vandalism from Trump, but it's all coming to an end. And the Trump family has earned its ignominy. They have debased themselves, the White House. They've done incalculable damage to this country, but the hours of their ability to do damage are coming to a fast end.
Steve, we will be, no doubt, on pardon watch for the next 73 days. Donald Trump will surely pardon himself. Others might request pardons. Others will surely get some pardons anyway, including possible Trump family members, but they will only be federal pardons. It'll shield Donald Trump from being prosecuted in the federal case that Michael Cohen was prosecuted in which Donald Trump was basically identified as a co-conspirator in that case. The state of New York is not bound by any of those federal pardons. That's where the legal process seems to be closing in on Donald Trump the most quickly, including criminal legal process with a grand jury in the state of New York. And it always seemed to me that one of the things that Donald Trump was fighting for in this election and was thought he might use election lawyers, basically use election lawyers this week to prevent him from spending all of next year as a defendant, both in civil and possible criminal cases.
Sure. Look, I think that the name Trump will be an epithet in this country in a few months. The senators who have been completely loyal to him will want nothing to do with him as he's out of power. He's going to be hounded by investigations for the rest of his days on Earth. He's going to occupy a shameful place in American history. I mean, just even imagine the act of building the Trump Library. Who's going to fund that? What is his deal flow going to be? I think Donald Trump faces bankruptcy, investigation, and shame. And so do many of the people who worked with him. I mean, today is a day of national jubilation for sure. But we should also remember that we have 250,000 dead Americans because of the incompetence of this fool. We have 565 little children were orphaned by the government of the United States. That action, by the way, Lawrence, was done in my name and in yours and in all of our names. And there needs to be accountability for it. We've seen the State Department hollowed out. We've seen incompetency institutionalized across the government. He's done a lot of damage to the country, to our institutions in 4 years. And it's going to take a lot longer to undo the damage than it took to cause it. We have the right man and the right woman in the top jobs in the country to begin, and I mean begin the work of accomplishing that task. But today is a good day for this country. This was the most important election we had since 1864, which fundamentally decided if we were going to remain the United States of America, or we were going to break up and accept a slave state, Confederate States of America. It's a monumentally good day and an important day for the country. But we should be clear-eyed about the great challenges that lie ahead because of the damage that Trump has done.
Steve Schmidt, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for your guidance throughout this campaign. You were always confident of what the outcome would be, and you were basing that on your own professional experience and skills running a presidential campaign. That has been an invaluable insight to our viewers, especially this week, where you were clearly confident all the way through on what was happening. That was a very, very helpful guide for all of us. Steve Schmidt, thank you very much for joining us.
Of course.